Cooking with Steve.
Oh, hello. Hi, and welcome to another edition of Cooking with Steve. You've joined us today on the Pesto Special. So what we're going to do today, let's go over and see the herb garden that we've grown from seeds, completely organic, I might add. We're going to be making pesto today, which is a dish that comes from the good old US of A. This is a dish that originated in Texas. I have a friend that lives in Texas. He's a cowboy there. And when I went down to visit him this most recent trip, he introduced me to this stuff called basil and pesto. So here's our herb garden. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut off a lot of these basils, pretty low down there. Gonna get a lot of this stuff, and we're going to make some pesto out of it. So after I get done doing this, we'll come right back and I will show you how to make the pesto, and then later in the show I'm going to show you two separate applications for that pesto. So see you back here in a couple minutes once I am done harvesting the basil. See you then. Hi, welcome back to Cooking with Steve. We have cleaned off, or I should say rinsed off, our basil here. We've got quite a bit. So the good thing about pesto is it tastes good and it can be used in many different applications. The bad thing is it takes a lot of basil to make pesto. What I want to show you here are the ingredients we're going to be using today. Basil, number one, homegrown, organic, fresh Cincinnati basil. We got some kosher salt here. Big old clove of garlic, black pepper, extra virgin olive oil, Parmesan cheese, and pine nuts. Those are all the basics. There's a couple additional things that I personally like to use in my basil, a little bit, or in my pesto. A little bit of cayenne pepper to get it a kick, give it a kick. Learned this down in Texas. My friend Pedro, the Mexican Texan, showed me how to make this. Also, a lemon and some sun-dried tomatoes. I will show you how these all play a role. Step number one is we're going to have to rip all of these leaves off of the stems like that. So we'll come back to you when I've got all of the leaves harvested from the stems. See you in just a moment. Oh, hello there. Welcome back to Cooking with Steve. Oh, all right. As you know, we're making pesto right now. We have separated the leaves from the stem, and we're going to start putting them in our food processor. Now, this is a small food processor, but it will work for this application because although this looks like quite a bit of leaves, which it kind of is, they like break down pretty quickly. So we're gonna have to do this a little bit at a time. So first thing we're gonna do, we got some leaves in there. We're gonna put just a little bit of olive oil in there. What we're trying to do is grind it up to a very fine amount, and we're gonna continue grinding until we get this entire bowl of leaves grinded down. Then we'll add our other ingredients. So I'm going to get started here, and we'll come back once I got the entire amount of leaves grinded down, and then I'll show you what else we need to add to complete our pesto. See you back here in just a couple of minutes. Cheers, mate. Hello, we just had to cut that last restart because we had some drama within the children of this family. Anyway, as you can see here, we have grinded up all of our, let's get a little close-up shot here. We grinded up all of the leaves, and that's what it yielded. In total, we probably got about a tablespoon and a half of olive oil in there in addition to the basil leaves. That's all we've got in there so far. You remember that large garlic clove we started with? We're going to throw that in there right now. We're also going to squeeze these lemons in there. Actually, we're probably just going to do half of the lemon. Ah, man, got a couple seeds in there. Thought I took them all out. But I'm gonna have to get those out. Anyway, pause it real quick. I'm gonna get these seeds out. Alright, welcome back. Seeds are out. Now we are going to put some pine nuts. So, story with these pine nuts. pine nuts are actually kind of expensive. This thing right here is probably like $7. My mom came over earlier today, and when I spoke with her before she came over, she was at Kroger. So I asked her if she would pick me up some pine nuts, and she said sure. When she got here, she gave them to me. I'm always one to save a few pennies whenever possible. So that was my way of making this more affordable to make. Anyway, we're gonna put, I'd say about a quarter of a cup of these pine nuts in here, in addition to our garlic. We are also, whoops, sorry about that. We're gonna take a few, let's say 1, 2, let's say 7 of these roasted or sun-dried tomatoes, and we're gonna do that. Also, don't forget, need to put in this Parmesan, so we're gonna do about, I like Parmesan. Say about 3/4 of a cup of Parmesan. Get it off the top there. Roughly, let's see, like a palm-ish, like that much pepper. So is that about a tablespoonish of pepper? And we need some salt. Oh, that's probably a little too much salt. Do about half of what I just poured in my hand there, so about a tablespoon of salt. Also, we're gonna do a pinch cayenne just to give it a little bite. Maybe about a teaspoon of cayenne. So, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna grate all of this together, and we'll come right back and I'll show you the finished product. See you in just a minute. And welcome back to Cooking with Steve. As you can see here, our pesto is complete. Didn't have to add anything in addition to what I showed you before we went to break. It's perfect amounts, everything. I am that experienced. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this out of the food processor, put it in that bowl, and then when we come back here, I'm going to show you a couple different applications of what we're going to do with this. So I'll see you in just a few minutes, and we'll come right back. See you then. Hello, and welcome back to the pesto special Cooking with Steve. As you will see right here, earlier today I made some hummus. I have not put a topping on it yet. If you look at a previous episode, I did show actually how I make the hummus. I did it the exact same way. I'm going to top this with some of this pesto, like this. Spread it out like that, so when you dip your pretzel chips or pita chips or whatever we decide to dip in here, you'll get a little pesto on it. So we'll taste that here in a few. Come back in just a minute and I'll show you what we're going to use the pesto for on the dinner. So I'll tell you what I'm doing real quick. I'm going to cook this box of angel hair pasta here, and then also these chicken breasts, which I got on sale for $1.99 a pound, and they are marinating in some very cheap Italian dressing. Again, I'm a discount seeker. I like to pinch pennies. So we're going to cook this angel hair pasta. We're going to grill these chicken breasts. You know how to do that. I'm not going to show you, but I will show you how we're going to construct the final dish, and then we'll have a tasting time. See you then.
Hey, and welcome back to Cooking with Steve.
We're having a mini tasting time right now with our pesto hummus. Take a bite there, Alex. That's not the pesto one, Alex.
He took one.
Well, what do you think?
Yes!
Okay. Okay, for the record, that was the sriracha hummus. Ava, why don't you try the pesto hummus?
It's like really yummy.
Good to hear. Bubba, why don't you get in there and get yourself a bite? Mackenzie got a rock thrown at her face.
Shout out to Irvin.
Okay. What do you think of that?
Delicious.
All right. Well, we'll see you back here. Okay, cool.
Shout out to Irvin.
We heard you a couple times now, guys. We're gonna come back for construction time.
She has a
Hello,
pet
welcome
buddy.
back to Cooking with Steve. Our pasta has finished cooking on the stove. I'm leaving just a little bit of water in here, maybe about a half of a cup. And what I'm going to do with this pesto is take a good amount of it and throw it in there. That looks to be about 3. We're gonna make about an even cup of pesto.
Stop it.
Okay, thanks for the sound effects, folks, but we don't need those. And we're actually gonna add a little bit of EVOO, extra virgin olive oil, in here as well. About 3 tablespoons. All right, give this a good mix around. And the pasta part of our dish is going to be done, and then we'll come back when the chicken is finished on the grill, and I will show you how to complete this dish. See you in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back to Cooking with Steve. Alright, so if you remember that half of the lemon we had left over from earlier, I also squeezed that into the pasta dish. Don't worry if your pasta appears to not have much sauce on it. This pesto really packs a punch. So even though it's not going to be fully green, it will taste good. As you'll see, I'm just going to set one of these up here for you real quick. I grabbed our chicken off of the grill, and I'm just slicing it up like that. And I'm going to put it right on top of here like that. That is our full dish. Just a minute. And we'll put a little bit of Parmesan on top. That's our full dish. So I'm gonna make all 5 of them like that, and we'll come back for tasting time. See you then. Thank you for joining us for tasting time on Cooking with Steve, the Pesto Special. Alex, what do you think?
I'll take one bite, guys.
That is a big bite, man. Well, let's skip over to Ava real quick while Alex chews. Ava, what do you think, real quick? Okay, Ava, what do you think?
This is really yummy.
Bob, what do you think?
This might be one of my favorite dishes you have made
Good to hear.
on the show.
Good to hear. It absolutely is to die for. She's absolutely correct when she says that. This is very, very good. Thank you for joining us today. Very, very much appreciated. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Cooking W Steve. Please check out the GoFundMe page. Again, as you see, we have grilled chicken here. I risked my life again using the grill to grill chicken. We seem to be stalled at $25 toward our goal. I would like to first thank Lindsay and Matt Overbay with the donation, Dominic Bovey with the donation, and Eric Coten with the donation. I would love to see the remaining loyal viewers of the show give a little contribution to continue our GoFundMe campaign. Again, Twitter, Instagram, GoFundMe. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share with everybody that you know, and leave a few comments. We'll see you on the next episode of Cooking with Steve.
Cooking with Steve.
Yummy!